Hey everybody, this is Raven Pyros, and we're like 2 hours and 40 minutes away from the third Godforge alpha wave, and super excited about that. I make ravenpyros.com, and I wanted to, I've been cramming in as much updates as I can before this final wave, so I wanted to show some of those off to y'all. So yeah, first is ravenpyros.com. And on the alpha page, you can see the countdown till when it starts. Once it starts, it'll have a countdown till when it ends. I got the alpha 3 patch notes. This is just the ones that they released, and I kind of compiled it into my own format. I guess the first thing to go over is changes to the hero details pages. So if I look at Anubis here, I had a bunch of changes. So as always, you can see their information up here. You can see there's base stats, and you can sort those or filter those. Just compare those. This is compared to everybody else. So like, who has the lowest health points and the highest health points? Where does this stack up in that? And then you can make it where it's just looking at this rarity. So obviously, as a legendary champion, this one's gonna stack up better against the total than it does against just the other legendaries. But new here is ascension bonuses. So if I click on this 1-star, it'll now change him to 1-star ascended, and you can see some of the stats change. That's because if I scroll down here to the ascension bonuses, at the different ranks you actually get bonuses to your stats. So he gets health and attack, and then at the end critical damage and accuracy. And so then as we level him up, you can see what his stats are doing. But then as you ascend him up, you can also see his different stats are compared to it. Now, so comparing to others that are ascending to the same level. And so, once you get, say, speed on 5 stars, apparently there are some. And so, since he doesn't, his speed is no longer, doesn't rank quite as highly. Then, since he gets accuracy, that goes up. And then, if I click on max, it will just bring him to the max. So, like, if I just load this page and nothing was done, I could easily just click max to see how does he stack up against everybody and maxed out. So that's the first thing, is ascension bonuses. The next is actually awakening bonuses. So you probably already saw here, there's this awakening. You can choose his awakening level, and most people get some initiative at either level 2 or 4, and then they get additional starting divinity at the other one. So if we go to level 2, like, his initiative goes up to as high as anybody's starting initiative. So that's new. The next thing is awakenings are also shown in each skills. So like, awakening 3 affects this one's basic skill. So it shows that, if he's defeated, also steal 20% divinity from all enemies. We can see those there. We can also see damage calculations here. So based on stats, now of course this is without any gear on, but based on just these stats and this calculation, his attack is, based on his HP and attack. And then it's 2-hitter. So this is how much damage that would do without any gear on. Then we've also got level upgrades in here, which is also new, where you can see, damage increases. This is not accounting for any of this yet, nor is, the 75% obviously goes up to 100% chance. That's not accounted for here, but you can see, this is the base, and then these apply to that. Also, do have these tooltips on any effects that any skill applies. If it's a solid line like this, that means it applies to all enemies, or to all. It could be self, or all allies or all enemies. But these apply to all enemies. If it's a single dotted outline like that, it means it applies to self. And then the dash like this means it applies to just us, to target or specific allies or enemies. And then I've got these are new. So this is how much initial divinity he has, like how much he starts with, and that is taking this into account. So if I put him back at awakening 0, it's only 250. He gets that additional 200 at level 4. And then this is how much it actually costs, how much divinity actually costs to cast this or to do this ability. You can see, in addition to the damage calculations, we also have healing. So in this case, since it's 30% of damage, this is based on this. Again, obviously this would be much higher with gear. Don't have any way of simulating that yet, but but it still gives you an idea of how big of a heal or barrier and stuff these are. The community guides have also been updated some, so they can now be given their own titles. You can upvote ones that you think are helpful. You can share them. So if you want to send somebody else this guide, you can do so on here, or share your own guide on here, and that'll take people directly to it. You can choose to see just the newest guides. If you are a content creator and you want to be able to post guides on here, just let me know. I'll get you marked as a content creator, and you'll be able to watch or to post your own guides on here. They can have titles, videos, and even full text descriptions. The heroes list has also been updated quite a lot. First off, I did reorder these filters based on some feedback and just what felt right to me. So like before we had rarity at the first, and like I didn't actually find myself ever really filtering by rarity, because usually you don't. You just want somebody who can do what you need to do with faction first, and then archetype and allegiance. I left stats effects on the end because it's easy to find there. The status effect filter, just so if you haven't seen this lets you like filter by, what are all my Aru champions, or, what are all my brawlers, or what are all the brawlers. So then status effects also updated this. So instead of just like having attack up 1, 2, 3 and stuff, I shortened this list a good bit by just having a single thing. So if we want to search by attack up, we can search by a specific target, but I'll just do search for attack up. It'll now show everybody with any level of attack up. And then it'll show the icon on here of what it is. And so you can see he does it on his ultimate for 2 turns. All of them, it looks like. This one, though, can do it on himself, with his basic skill. This one is attack up 1. You can see it's a different icon, and then it shows it in that pop-up. And this one is also on self. Again, those outlines, the single dotted means it's on self, the solid line means it's on everybody, and then dashes, starting here, would mean it's on specific targets. Let's see. Also, with that, since we have the awakening abilities in there now, you can see, before if you search for resistance down, nobody came up. But now, Dagonet and Kate Sith both come up because they can do it. Because I believe he cast it with at Awakening 3, he places resistance down. So that's those. Let's see here. If I reset this. On the table view, we can now choose to show max stats. So this is, of course, not like theoretical max. This is just like if they're fully leveled, leveled up, level 60, fully ascended, fully awakened, here are their stats. And so it's kind of interesting because, the order of these, if you're sorting by any of these fields, like, they can change significantly. You can actually see, Odin gets some pretty huge initiative boost with his ascension. The highest accuracy is actually Mordred at base level, but then once they're fully maxed out, Odin and Loki both pass him. Same deal on the chart view, which, if you haven't seen this lets you see, I've got it grouped by archetype, so the different colors are different archetypes. And then the x-axis I've got set to the attack, and the y-axis is the health. And so you can see that, we get a slightly different picture depending on if we're looking at maxed out stats or not. You can look at these different things. So, maybe we want somebody with, accuracy and speed. And we can see how does different people stack up with, obviously the ones upper right are going to have the most, combined accuracy and speed, because higher accuracy, higher speed. The other thing on this page is this show my heroes option. So if I choose that, you have to log in, sign up here, or you can use login with Google even if you haven't signed up yet, and log in with a Google account. That is fixed now. I know that we had some issues with it before, so thanks for people who let me know. Yeah, if I go back to the heroes page, you can see each hero now has this toggle on it, and that is for whether or not you own that hero. So if I toggle show my heroes, it'll just show the heroes that I've marked as owning. And so if I can, maybe I want to see, which of my heroes can place, resistance up or something like that, and see just those as opposed to the full list of heroes. You can use this toggle here to mark any hero as your own, and on the hero pages, you can use this toggle here also. If you're, just doing it this wave and you already have some from last wave, the easiest way to clear those out is to go to the table view, show my heroes, and then just toggle these off like this. And that'll clear out your list. Let's see. With let me actually mark some back as on again. On your page, so if I go members and then view profile, this is my all the heroes that I've marked as my own. I can actually share that with others. So if you need help on something, and you can share this link to other people, let them know like, hey, I'm trying to do this. These are the heroes that I have. What would you recommend doing? How would you recommend I conquer this challenge? And that goes into a new feature that I just finished up. So this team builder. So under here, Raven Powers team builder. This is first version. So it's pretty basic, but hopefully it'll still be useful. So you can create your own team with up to 5 champions. So I could call this, Fastney or 60 or something. And then you can select what heroes you have, or what heroes you want in that team. So, just select some. I'm not going to try to build an actual team here. So I keep the video short, and I can't. And you can talk at the same time, but you can choose what, if you want them to have specific weapons, if you want them to have specific imprints, armor sets, and you can, select multiple of one or whatever. Different weapons imprints. You don't have to fill it all out. If it's really not relevant, you can just put in the relevant sections, and then you can put in any notes you want. And so, maybe if this is just for yourself, maybe like, you might just put like, just maybe use something like that or whatever to remember details on it. Or if you're, maybe making a guide, something for somebody else, you can put all kind of notes. And this supports basic Markdown. If you've ever worked with Markdown, that Discord has some of the same stuff, but like, if I do a number, a heading, bold is like, to make lists just by like, using the, and then it also supports, you tag different ability names. If I like, something like that. Now in here, the viewing section, you can see the formatted text, and these have the pop-ups like others. And so then if I save that, again, you do have to be logged in to do that. I can use this link and share with anybody else. So if I log out, and then, maybe I send this to somebody else, and they go to that, they can see that team, any notes and stuff that you have, and read it. They can't change anything about your team, but they can do it. Maybe they want to make a copy of it, they can, and, mess with it, change stuff themselves, in order to save, they'd have to log in too. So I'll log back in. Then on your profile, you do have your own teams here, so you can see the teams that you've made. Under here also, you can choose my teams, load any of your other teams, and mess with those. Share them. So hope that's useful. I think I thought it could be fun. Because the other thing on these, if I'm viewing I think I've got a test run in here. If I'm viewing a content creators team, or if you're a content creator and you make a team, then when you send that to other people, it's actually going to have, your name on there. So, this one will say by Raven Pirates Gaming, but if you send other people's teams, it'll say by your display name. People can click on that and see, your links to your YouTube or any guides that you've posted, stuff like that. So let's see. Few other updates. The search up here has changed some, so you can click on this, or you can press / and start typing anything, and it'll come up. There's some additional things also, like it'll search for skills also, and so you can click on those to go straight to that skill on a hero. It'll search for weapons and armor sets too, like if I search for Avenger, and go straight to that on here. And these pages have changed a bit, so easily search them. Our table view also, armor sets. This can be helpful to seeing what additional stats can haul on different pieces. The affinities page, no, that's not changed. This, I think I changed up somewhere. It groups these more than that. I think I did that last time, actually. Imprints changed up a bit, again, with just both card view and table view. You can easily search, maybe want to see anything that has to do with bleed, for instance. Same with weapons. And these, actually, did do some more change on these. So the effects are, say this one gives you, 5% or steals 5% divinity. You can now choose the rank that you're looking at, and it will show what it does at that rank. See it in table view also, and you can filter these if you want to. If you haven't seen already, this just has all the stages and the requirements to do. So looking forward to playing, and I welcome any feedback. So if you want to join my Discord, you can do so down here. We have a suggestions page there. You can use this feedback link here to get a link and join that. So, I really do listen to that very much. I love this game, and I'm building this because I love it and enjoy it, and I want to make something that's, useful for the community. But if you want to help with some of my cost of hosting and stuff, you can support me on Patreon, and that's tremendously helpful. But otherwise, I really look forward to seeing you all in game, and have fun.